Is it too good to be true? Can this really be happening? Could this be a message from the gods? Could things be looking up for Star Wars? Is it truly happening, or is it just all poppycock? Is this not really a thing? News broke, more of a rumor broke just last night that, well, Kathy Kennedy will be stepping back from Lucasfilm this year. Now, I'm pulling this from Empire, however, it's coming from the Puck, or from Puck, I don't know what they're called. Puck is reporting that Kathy Kennedy will be stepping down after 13 years of running Lucasfilm. Let's take a look at this here. So again, this is coming from Empire via Puck. What a year 2025 is proving to be for seismic regime changes. Last week came the official announcement that Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson are stepping back from Bond, and now reports are coming in that Kathy Kennedy, legendary producer and Amblin co-founder, will be stepping back as president of Lucasfilm later in 2025 as she prepares for retirement. Look, we've been talking about this for a long time. Kathy Kennedy has not succeeded in her role as president of Lucasfilm. She has been there for 13 years, guys, 13 years. Let's not forget that it was George Lucas who handpicked her. George Lucas put her in this position. Prior to selling Lucasfilm to Disney, he handpicked Kathy Kennedy to run Lucasfilm, then sold Lucasfilm to Disney. And part of that stipulation was for Disney to take it, Kathy Kennedy had to stay in charge, had to be in charge. There's no denying that Kathy Kennedy is a fantastic producer. She did some amazing work in the 80s and the 90s, but there comes a time when things just don't work out anymore. Directors lose a step. Actors lose a step. Writers lose a step. Sports players eventually lose a step. Things just start to fall apart. You're not the same that you were 20, 30, 40 years ago. Kathy Kennedy, though, is a little bit of a different situation because it wasn't that she just lost a step. She moved into a position that she obviously could not handle. And that is what happened here. Now, there's, again, no denying that Star Wars under her leadership made a whole crap ton of money when it came to The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rogue One, and The Rise of Skywalker. All billion-dollar-plus films, some close to $2 billion. But let's take a step back and realize that each one of those films was divisive in some form. Not to mention that each one made less and less and less money. You then take a look at all of the behind-the-scenes shenanigans that went on with each film. Take a look at The Force Awakens. There was a huge disconnect with J.J. Abrams and Kathy Kennedy. Rewrites happening on the set while filming was going on for The Force Awakens. The only one that there really wasn't any back and forth on any issues with was Rian Johnson. And I think it's because he was more of a yes man when it came to Kathleen Kennedy. I think he kind of went in there and it was anything that she said. He just said, yes, ma'am, give me some more. I'll do whatever you want. When everything was going on with Rogue One and Gareth Edwards, look at all the issues that happened there. They had to reshoot the last third act, the last act of that movie, because why? I mean, we still don't know exactly why they reshot that third act. Was it too much of a war movie? Did it just not fit well with it? Did they not like how it ended? Because originally the ending was going to be a lot more happy, not as bleak. Who knows? Then you have the Lord and Miller situation with Solo, where they got pretty much done with shooting that movie, and they were like, nope, we don't like it. Bring in Ron Howard. Time and time again, things just continue to happen. Don't forget about the Josh Trank issue, where he was going to make a Boba Fett film. And it was literally moments before they went on stage to announce this film and Josh Trank doing it, they fire him. You have what went on with Colin Trevorrow writing the 9th installment of Star Wars. He writes it. He's all excited about doing it. He gets moved off the project. They then bring in J.J. Abrams again. J.J. Abrams comes in. He writes a movie, which is difficult for him to write because of what Rian Johnson did. Rian Johnson's film did not leave anything to create a final chapter in a trilogy. That movie, The Last Jedi, did not leave anything available to finish a story. That's what people don't understand. Like, when you look at storytelling and writing, The Last Jedi is not a middle chapter. It is not a middle chapter. So J.J. Abrams comes in and he's like, how do I do this? How can I finish this? So he writes a story, and there were rumors that he wanted to do 2 more films. He's like, the best way to do this is to do 2 films. They push back. No, it has to be a trilogy. You have to make 1 film. So he makes 1 film. It ends up being like 4 hours long, and they make him cut it. They make him cut it. And they make him redo this, redo that, redo this. And you see the outcome of the movie. You jump to everything that's going on with television, on the television side of Star Wars. The Mandalorian was a massive success. The interesting thing, though, is while she is involved, and you have to give her credit because she is part of that. She greenlit it. She said yes. And for all of the bad that she does, again, a blind squirrel is going to find a nut sometimes. So, The Mandalorian, first season, phenomenal. But while she is involved in that, she greenlit and allowed Jon Favreau, allowed Dave Filoni to go in there and create this show. Absolutely. Season 2 of The Mandalorian, not as good as the first season, but still decent. But the plans for what they wanted to do with this whole Mandalorian story got flubbed up because of her. Because she wanted to capitalize on Grogu, Baby Yoda. We got to capitalize on it. And instead of allowing Favreau and Filoni to do what they initially wanted to do, she pushes them and says, we need more of this. We need more of that. I want you guys to change up what you're doing and keep going in this direction as opposed to what you want to do. Thus, we get the Book of Boba Fett becoming what it becomes. Season 3 of The Mandalorian, which is not very good. We get Obi-Wan, which should have been a movie. And if you go and listen to Star Wars Theory interview with the original writer for the Obi-Wan movie, much better sounding than what we got in the show. The Acolyte, she greenlit The Acolyte and allowed The Acolyte to happen. Come on now. The Ahsoka show I enjoy. Again, another win. She finds wins occasionally. You step back and you see she was not fit and is not fit for this role. I will hold true and I will stand true that she is a fantastic producer. What she did in her career with Spielberg, with her husband Frank Marshall for many years, phenomenal job. She might be one of the, if not the best producer ever. But as a studio head, as a president of Lucasfilm, she failed. She failed at her job, and unfortunately, she needs to step down. But who could take her place? That's the question. So it's going to be interesting to see who they get to fill her shoes, which isn't going to be very hard. I mean, hopefully it's nobody worse, but who are they going to get to step in her place, step in and take over? That's going to be interesting. And let's not forget that we have the failure of Willow, and we have the failure of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny as well. So many failures from her as president of Lucasfilm. It's abysmal. It is abysmal. Do we think that what she has done is done too much damage? Can Lucasfilm be fixed once she leaves? I honestly don't know at this point. I hope it can be. Being a massive Star Wars fan, being a massive Indiana Jones fan, I hope that these things can get fixed. But I want to know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like I said, I would love to know what you guys think. If you think it can be fixed, let me know how you think it can be fixed. What can be done to fix Star Wars, to fix Indiana Jones, to fix Lucasfilm as a whole? If you don't think it can be fixed, tell me what you think, what damage has been done that you think is just too far gone. Let me know all that in the comments. With all that said, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll check you all out later.